Let's jump right in. I want you to close your eyes and imagine a place of absolute no return. We're talking about a shadowy, totally submerged world, deep beneath the earth. It was a place feared so intensely by an entire ancient civilization that they simply called it the place of fear. You and I, well, we know this terrifying abyss from the ancient Maya texts as Xibalba.
But what if I told you the Mayan Underworld wasn't just a myth? Yeah, recent archaeological digs deep in the Yucatan Peninsula are pointing to something way more disturbing. As we dig into the sources today, it turns out this terrifying realm might have actually been a very, very real place.
All right, let's look at Section 1, the legend of Xibalba. So, according to the Maya belief system, Xibalba wasn't just some empty, dark cave. No way. It was actively ruled by these terrifying death gods, specifically Hun-Came and Vucub-Came. And the absolutely crucial thing to understand here is that these two, they weren't just passively watching over souls. They were literal masters of suffering. They engineered an underworld specifically designed to inflict maximum terror, demanding blood and orchestrating these wild, elaborate tortures for literally anyone who crossed their threshold.
Which brings us to Section 2, Trials of the Gods.
Anyone unfortunate enough to end up in this realm had to face this perfectly designed system of horror. They called them the Houses of Suffering. First up, you had the House of Darkness, which is exactly what it sounds like. A void of absolute, suffocating blackness meant to just completely break your mind. Then there's the House of Blades, filled with constantly moving, razor-sharp weapons designed to flay the skin. And if that wasn't enough, you had the House of Jaguars, packed with starving beasts just waiting to tear you apart. It was essentially a flawless mechanism for total destruction.
But, and this is where the ancient texts get really interesting, something unexpected happens. Two brothers, the hero twins, Hunu and Xibalba, enter Xibalba. And they didn't go down there to just give up and die. They went to challenge the gods themselves. And, against all odds, they actually survived every single trap. They outsmarted every deadly test we just talked about, and, ultimately, they defeated the rulers of death. It's this massive, triumphant moment in the mythology, a rare spark of hope in a place of complete darkness.
So what does this all mean for us today? Well, here's where our exploration pivots from pure mythology into a full-on modern historical detective story. Historians are fiercely debating this right now. What if this whole story wasn't just a metaphor? What if these brutal trials were based on real places and actual human rituals?
Let's move to Section 3, Real Gateways to Hell.
If you go deep into the Yucatan today, you'll find these endless, pitch-black underwater caves known as cenotes. And the ancient Maya believed these massive sinkholes and flooded cave networks were the literal, physical gateways to Xibalba. Honestly, plunging into one of these feels like you're dropping right off the edge of the earth. This completely grounds that whole mythological concept into a chilling physical reality.
And the evidence backing this up is wild. Recent archaeological expeditions have uncovered a sequence of clues that is just chilling. First off, divers have literally found human skeletons deep inside these flooded caves. And secondly, these definitely aren't accidental drownings. There are clear signs of sacrifice. Bodies were deliberately placed as ritual offerings, positioned like they were meant to enter another world entirely. But the third piece, and this is probably the most unsettling discovery, researchers found unnatural, carved structures built incredibly deep in the submerged dark. I mean, we're talking about stalactites modified into altars and actual pathways carefully constructed out of rock, hundreds of feet underwater. Someone intentionally built down there.
Which perfectly sets up Section 4, What Lies Beneath.
When we take the myth and put it side by side with reality, the similarities are honestly terrifying. Look at the ancient Maya texts like the Popol Vuh. They describe Xibalba in incredible detail: dark rivers, deadly physical traps, massive hidden chambers. Now look at the modern archaeological discoveries in the Yucatan. Actual cenotes acting as dark rivers, complex underwater cave systems that are prone to sudden collapses, and those intentionally carved stone paths leading to terrifying dead ends. The ancient descriptions just perfectly map against these real locations. It completely blurs the lines between a terrifying ancient myth and hard, undeniable archaeological facts.
But here's the really sobering reality of our modern limitations. Even today, with all of our advanced diving technology, the rebreathers, the highly trained experts, many of these cave systems remain completely unexplored. They are simply too deep, way too dangerous, and just too labyrinth-like to safely navigate. The sheer terrifying scale of what remains hidden down there is staggering.
Which leaves us with one final, inescapable thought. If the physical locations match the terrifying legends so perfectly, and so much of the subterranean world is still completely out of our reach, what's still down there, waiting in the darkness? That's all for today's deep dive. I hope this leaves you with a lot to think about the next time you hear a myth that just might be real.